Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome to today's readings. Beautiful souls, if you are already a part of this really amazing community we're building, welcome back. And if you're new to the Moon Magic Tarot, welcome. And if you're new to tarot altogether, sort of very conscious, I never ever really say this, but if you're brand new to tarot and you're not actually sure how this works, we're going to be drawing 3 cards. I'm also going to be drawing a rune and a charm, and these are to guide you in to whichever of the readings today really calls to you. And we're asking about a major blessing that you don't see coming that is going to happen in the next 3 months, and we're checking in with your future self to ask about this. So this is the reading for today, or the readings, a message from your future self. What major blessing do you not see coming that is going to arrive in the next 3 months? So let's draw our 3 cards. So we have, okay, I'm seeing these, 1 and 2, and actually this one. Okay, let's have a look and see what we've got for you. So pile 1, we have the card of Tiger. Okay. Pile 2, we have the card of Bat. And pile 3, we have the card of Hyena. Okay, so let's draw some runes and a charm as well. So we have, oh, your charm is really, really strongly coming through. Oh, you have Cupid, a little angel, Cupid's arrow. Okay, so that is your charm, and your rune pile 1 is, you have the rune of flow, beautiful energy. This is Lagos. Okay, pile 2, your charm is, oh, you have the Om sign. How interesting. Do you know, I will just show you this, but look at this ring. Can you see this? I was getting out my rings, and yeah, this is the one that came first, and it felt really a real strong pull to use it today. And you also have the rune of Gateway. This is Thurizaz. Then we have the rune of Movement. This is Awaz. And we have, oh, look at this. You have a balloon, a hot air balloon. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is leave the camera running just for a little bit longer for anyone that wants a little bit more time. You may already know which of the readings is speaking to you. Sometimes it's more than one. I personally, especially at such times of accelerated change that we're in as a global humanity, I would not be counting out the potential for more than one blessing to be coming to you unexpectedly in the next 3 months. Just trust your intuition, your gut feeling. If any of the cards, runes or charms are speaking with you, then that is almost certainly the reading to go for. If more than one is speaking to you, I would see which one feels strongest and go with that first. So beautiful souls, I will see you in the readings in just a moment. Hey, pile 1, welcome to your reading. So we're asking for a message from your future self, letting you know about a blessing that you don't see coming in the next 3 months. Now, Cupid's arrow does suggest love, and this really glued itself to my fingers in the little bag of charms. And the tiger energy is all about sensuality, empowerment as well, full expression. There's a nighttime energy about it. And the rune of flow, things that are flowing into being. I think we just better draw more cards really and see what are we being shown here. What is this blessing that's coming to you? So I think I will draw some oracle cards first. I actually was really drawn to 2 angel packs today, 2 different ones. These are the angel answers, and this is the guardian angel pack of oracle cards. If you're interested in any of the cards, Super Souls, I always list them in the description box below. Let's have a quick look and see. So we have Angel of Health, and then you have Yes. There's a lot of joy. I feel like this is radiating. I feel like you guys maybe, do you know what's coming through? It's like you're in a place of recovery from something. Now, whether this is physical, emotional, psychological, spiritual, but I feel like you're in a place of recovery. And something's coming into you here. See this angel offering this. There's so much love, protection, guardianship around you. I wonder if you are in a place of recovery and part of the blessing, it's a part of it. I mean, it's a major blessing we're asking about, and I suppose there isn't a greater blessing, is there, than actually allowing love into your world, being able to receive love, to just be happy. There's something about recovery coming through here. Even with the tiger energy, that nighttime energy, somehow as if you've kind of walked the night, walked a darker place, but you're finding empowerment through it. I mean, it doesn't feel, particularly negative. There's huge empowerment that comes from walking in a dark place, but I feel like love is coming back in. Let's draw more cards. We have okay. Okay, look at this. You have Thurisaz's Gateway. That is interesting because Thurisaz's Gateway has come into another reading. If for any reason you were drawn to more than one, I think it's pile 2, it would be worth you checking that reading out as well. What I feel is with the wolf and the roses, and there's a sense of protection, passing through a gateway from one space to another. Do you know, it's almost as though you move from a place where you've connected to darkness in a way that has felt really challenging, and you move to a place where what I would call your connection to the shadows is more to do with being enlightened than to do with being in a place of genuine darkness. Now, if you are in a place of darkness at the moment, that may not feel that way, but I think the major blessing coming in is light, it's love, it's saying yes to life. But something will be coming and be gifted to you to create this. So your houses, you have a card of the 4th house, your home, your base, your family, support. How interesting, we have an acorn in the middle here, an oak tree, and then the sign that you have here is Cancer. Intuition to protect. I'm feeling a lot of protection from the wolf energy as well. Intuition to protect, attitudes from the past, history. Use your intuition. I'm going to move these down here because I feel like I want to kind of make space, really. I think we better draw some tarot cards as well for you. How interesting. I have picked up this pack and the card at the base was left there. So I'm actually going to look at this. Right, Child of Crystals. This is actually Huckleberry Finn. Huckleberry Finn was like an orphan, I think. And then he found something. He found treasure. So he lived quite a difficult life, a rough life, a difficult life. And then he found some kind of treasure. And I think because he was a boy, the treasure was looked after by like adults, and he was then allocated so much, like not given it all at once, basically. But nevertheless, he was therefore comfortable. He was going to be comfortable forever. And we have your home, your family, comfortable forever, security, your base. How interesting. I do feel something is going to be given to you, an unexpected blessing. It could even be something financially, like a windfall or a gift of generosity. Like an inheritance even, I'm seeing here. But it's interesting because it feels like this is unexpected. You don't see it coming. It could be like, someone passes away and then randomly you find that they've left you something in your will and you had no idea. It would never ever have been on your agenda. You were there for them in real life because you loved them, you cared for them, and somehow something totally unexpected arrives, and it's really coming out of the blue. But I think it opens doors for you with the Yes card. I just feel like you're standing there blossoming, coming from a place where, I'm thinking of the tiger energy here. Tigers hunt in the dark. They hunt at night. They have to be stealthy. They have to be, that's part of their successful hunt. They have to be stealthy to survive. I do feel that there is sort of like more than one layer to your blessing. Yeah, I think your future self, I feel like this is your future self. We have people above you here. I feel like this is your future self saying, look, actually, you're going to receive something here. If you have been in any way worried financially and that's had an impact on your health, or you've just been living a bit on the edge, something is coming that will enable you to step through a gateway into a new period of life. I do feel that there is a lot of potential for finances here, finances and health, but we also have Cupid's arrow. But maybe that is because someone just loves you. Someone from your past. They loved you. They really appreciated you. They don't want to see you living on the edge or surviving rather than thriving. Something is coming in. Let's ask your future self for far more information about the details of this. Yes, may we ask your future self, pile 1 please, to give us information about this. May we ask your future self for information about this. What is actually coming in? No, that doesn't feel right. I'm going to leave that just as it is for now, and we'll look at these first. Okay, we have the 6 of Cups. Do you know, I almost said, rather than pile 1, I was about to say my lovely Cancers. We've got the card of Cancer. Excuse me. I'm wondering if the Cancer energy, maybe the gift is connected. For some of you, if you are a Cancer, then this is a confirmation that this is your reading, I think. Or indeed, maybe you receive something from a Cancer. So I'm seeing the 6 of Cups. This is something you've been waiting for. How interesting that that's coming through. Because she's sitting here waiting, there are 2 cups on the table. We have Cupid's arrow. She looks very content. She looks very happy. Gosh, I actually feel that we're getting a message about more than one blessing here. Most definitely, pile one. We have the Eight of Wands. We have the Nine of Wands. We have the Two of Swords. And we also have the Emperor. Okay. There, I think we can get those in. Yes, that's good. Okay, so I feel like there are two blessings. I've just said that, but I just have to really, I'm seeing an order to them arriving, which is really, really interesting. Okay. So the first blessing, I actually feel, and we're asking your future self about a period in the next 3 months. And firstly, I do think your future self is actually letting you know that you're protected as you navigate from one position to another. So it's like moving from a place of surviving to thriving. But I sort of feel like something comes in that is this major blessing, and it's either connected to your health. More than likely, I do feel we are talking about some sort of financial security, some kind of blessing, some financial security that comes to you. And then there you are saying, yes, I'm so grateful for this. And you're really sitting pretty, doing incredibly well, but you're on your own here. So I do feel for some of you, if you are single, I do think there is also then a second blessing of some kind of relationship coming in. The Emperor is a strong character coming in here. It's either that or money and finances come in some way, and then some conflict is brought to an end. It is really interesting. It's a general reading, so I need to kind of voice the different messages that are coming through here. But something that you see at the moment, I think there is something that you're feeling a little bit stuck by, like you're in recovery from something, or you're trying to move away from something. That's a better way of saying it. I think you're trying to move away from something. And this could be a real practical physical situation. It could be an element of poverty or financial hardship. It could be health, possibly due to stress about financial hardship. It could also be leaving behind attitudes of the past. But either way, there's something in this space of sort of transition and recovery that I'm feeling. And you're trying to move. What we're being shown here is that there is a gateway coming. And you're going to be guided and protected through this gateway. And something is coming in that's really, really going to assist you. It literally will be a blessing that will bring you the security you need to move something forwards here. A financial windfall. But something is coming that sets you up. So you're sitting pretty. And then it's kind of like, I think it gives you the means to move something forward, something that was blocked before, or that something you felt you couldn't afford, like a house, for example. But it gives you the opportunity to move something forwards that you couldn't move before. So this space of conflict kind of changes. You know, the Two of Swords, I'm really connecting with the tiger energy here, in the dark. It's like moving from that place where the shadows and the darkness feel as though they're really challenging for you, over to a place where I feel that you move to a place where you're no longer fearful of something. And again, it could be fearful of poverty. but you're no longer fearful of something. You're trying to move something forwards. You're trying to recover from something. You're trying to pick yourself up from something. And basically there will be some kind of a windfall coming to you. And it is unexpected. It really is out of the blue. I suspect we're not going to be given the details because it would no longer be unexpected. But you are being given the heads up by your future self that this is definitely, potentially, well, I say potentially, I think this is definitely coming in. It enables you to move something forwards that you want to move. Literally moving house for some of you, because we do have this card in Cancer, very much about home, family, that feeling of, well, that we've got here as well, 4th house, your home. But Cancer is associated as well with those feelings of unconditional love, feeling safe. So, something coming that means I feel like you can almost set up home somewhere else, and you're no longer feeling like you're bound by some kind of conflict. I actually feel with the Emperor, I'm going to draw more cards about, I want some clarifying about the Cupid's arrow, but because I do think there's a second blessing in this. I mean, the Emperor could indicate someone coming into your world. The second blessing, because I think this is the second blessing. But I also feel like it's almost like justice prevails. And this literally may be on a karmic level. Like you've really, really worked hard, and therefore it's like somehow you get something back. One of those wonderful things when you, I don't know if you ever see those sort of prize draws where someone wins a house, for example, and and there's somebody who would never in a million years ever have been able to get that house in their current job, but their job is their service. It's like they do a job that is so grassroots and so important, and all about contribution and service, and they have worked selflessly to provide for others, and then suddenly in comes this windfall. Excuse me, I have a touch of laryngitis, I'm afraid. But yeah, they have actually they deserve this. This is what's coming through with this Emperor. I feel almost like I'm looking at a justice card, a karmic justice card. I feel like this is almost like Father Saturn. You deserve this. This big blessing comes in, this gain, financial gain or benefit, or someone offers you that the house you were looking for, that there's something, and it ends the conflict where you're living constantly, where you can't I feel like you can't see what's coming next. You can't plan for the future because you're always kind of on the back foot, really, financially, almost as if every time you get your head above water, something else comes in that has to be paid for. That it's got that feel to it, and something is coming in here, and this is the big blessing. But ultimately, however this comes to you, there is a karmic giving back to you that comes here because you deserve it. Even this card, Angel of Health, it's like somebody who's given a life of service, of care to others, is now being looked after. Very beautiful. Yes. I do. I feel it's like you'll be like, yes, I can't believe this. Yes. It's got that real sense of, wow, where did that come from? I can't believe this. Huckleberry Finn is the same. He found treasure, and it meant that he was secure for the rest of his life. The money was being then taken care of, allocated to him in ongoing quantities, appropriately. So as a young person, he didn't go out and spend it all at once, but it's like it set him up for the future. I want to draw more cards around this Cupid's arrow because I do feel there could be a secondary blessing coming in. The primary one does seem to be, gosh, some sort of a totally unexpected, almost gift to you, a financial gift potentially. Yeah, I'm asking about Cupid's arrow, and we have 3 of Cups. You see, I think it's possible. Here you are sort of sitting and waiting. Now, it either may mean that if you're in an existing relationship, the pair of you can finally relax. You can celebrate. You can start a new chapter. Maybe financial stresses have really been pushing your relationship down, causing you difficulty and challenge. Maybe you didn't have the finances to literally be together, to buy a place together, to set up a home. It could also mean that if you are single, that the very essence of it's not having something more financially, but it's the move, I think, the move forwards that creates a position where you maybe meet somebody. We are definitely talking love and celebration, Cupid's arrow. So I sort of feel there's a double whammy of blessings, and this is what your future self is showing us. There's a double whammy of blessings. Yeah, definitely the first thing, but the first thing kind of leads potentially for some of you to the other. Unless, of course, they are connected, and of course, maybe meeting somebody who then offers to join forces with you financially, supports you, means that you then move forwards together. I keep feeling like the Emperor here looks like the card of justice a bit. It's just got that flavour, and that can sometimes mean contracts, marriage. So maybe the double whammy blessing is the financial security that comes from being in a partnership, not doing it alone. But there's definitely a twofold blessing here, really, really definitely. And then we have the Fool, new beginnings. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is joyous. Literally, I think you are going to be jumping for joy. My beautiful pile one, this is your reading for today. I love it. I really love it. And do you know the bit I love the most, I think, is, gosh, this feeling of I want to say payback in the loveliest, most exciting possible way. It's like payback in abundance, where I feel like you've worked in service. I really do. You've given of yourself in whatever area of your world this is about, whether it's to your home, to your family, excuse me, whatever this is about, you have given, I feel you've given selflessly. Irrespective of actually facing some quite big challenges, some darkness, you've continued to give. You've actually continued to hold the light. Even at times of darkness, for many of you, it may be that you have held the light for others, actually. But yeah, you've given of yourself massively, and this is the time it comes back to you within the next 3 months. And this sets out a whole new, it's like a whole new life for you with the Fool. It really is. It's a whole new life, a whole new space of possibility for you. Right now, my beautiful pile one, if you're feeling a little challenged, feeling like there's a bit of darkness around you, that you're having to constantly be on the back foot, or, you know, coping with, you know, I won't say living from hand to mouth, but, you know, there's something about having to go out and hunt for what you need, as it were. I think that's really shifting here. That's the overall blessing that your future self is acknowledging here. You'll literally be able to burn some bridges here. You'll no longer worry about, you know, where the next penny or is coming from, or yeah, this is really beautiful pile one. And as I said, I feel the best part of this is that I just think you really, really, really deserve it. Pile one, it's a true honour and privilege to read for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Tons and tons and tons of love, and I look forward to seeing you for some other readings soon. I do a lot of stuff, put free stuff into the world, have all zodiac sign readings elsewhere. I've written some books, I have some oracle cards. If you're interested in any of these things, do just check out the description box or the pinned comment, because as well as the cards and the timestamps, I will actually just put all the relevant links to the different things that I do. I mean, particularly if you are struggling in darkness a bit. I do have a whole online library that's there to help with psychology and emotions, which is my background. So beautiful souls, just tune in with anything you need. But this is sort of, actually, I want to say spectacular, actually, pile one. You know, blessings to you, really, really blessings to you. So deserved. Tons of love, beautiful souls. Hey, pile two, welcome to your reading. You have the card of Bat and the Om sign. I just found this really fascinating that I had put this ring on. What's really interesting, do you know, I've never actually worn this ring. I don't think. I have a collection of rings, and I don't think I've actually worn this one in a reading before, which is fascinating for me that I was drawn to it. So the Bat energy. Gateway, I feel you're going to be emerging. Now we're asking your future self for a message about a major blessing that you don't see coming. Now the Om sign is so powerful, it's untrue, because obviously we have its greatest spiritual meaning of absolute interconnectedness with the universe, spirituality, all those amazing connections to that sign. But it is also seen as a symbol of good luck. I think we should just draw more cards and see what we are shown for you, my beautiful pile two. What is this blessing, this piece of good luck even? I'm seeing this card for you. Meditation brings answers. Okay. Do you feel there's another in this pack? Yeah. Listen to your intuition. How interesting, because, well, bats are extraordinary, really, in terms of their sensory abilities and the way they navigate, heightened senses. Okay, gateway, you're emerging, you're stepping through a gateway. More cards for you, my beautiful pile two. Angel of Dreams. Look at this dream catcher. Excuse me. I'm afraid if my voice is a little bit croaky, I apologise. I actually have laryngitis, and so I have been asked to not speak as much. This is what I have been told, but I'm speaking a bit and limiting, not doing as many readings, quite as many readings as I normally do, but still doing some. So Angel of Dreams, how interesting. How interesting. Okay, more cards. May we have a message for my beautiful pile two. Okay, so first of all, you have the Sun. Wow. The creation of something, gaining of respect, things brought to life. Yes. We have realized, demonstrate, act like a leader. How interesting. There is a fascinating energy around your reading, pile two. Let's draw a rune card as well. Taurus, the rune of the spiritual warrior. This is about leadership. So, pile two, what is this major blessing that you don't see coming? Clearly, it is life-changing with the Bat energy. You're emerging or stepping through something. Now, the rune of Gateway, Thurizaz, it's like, gosh, it's like you've reached a point whereby you've learned from something, you've grown from something, and you're therefore able to sort of step through the gateway. Walk tall, be proud, walk tall. That there's something here that's very, it's, gosh, almost like your connectedness, your spirit. There's something of your spiritual journey that you have reached a significant turning point. I feel that you may be making some, let's say, clear-cut choices, but Tiwaz, or Tiwaz, I'm not sure how we pronounce that, but the spiritual warrior. This is the rune of the warrior. Again, we've got the eagle's vision. You can see things clearly. You are connected, you are one with the world. Meditation brings answers. I'm seeing you as being really, really interconnected in some way, shape or form with your calling, your pathway, with the spiritual realms. Your intuition heightened, able to see things that other people can't see necessarily. Different perspectives. I am wondering if you may actually become a bit of a visionary, really. A seer or a visionary. Even with the dream card, all of your cards are pointing to the creation of something that comes from source energy, your connectedness to source energy, your connectedness with spirit, your connectedness to your sixth sense, your connectedness to what you are shown in your dreams. I feel this is a bit of a reading of almost like finding your calling, or something that you have been working on, just you being you. You arrive, basically. That's what I feel like. You arrive. Let's get out your tarot cards. I definitely need clarification, but I actually do feel it is as if you become at one with source, spirit, the universe, your guides, your angels, your higher self, your future self. You become at one. You can see, you can know, you can feel, you can hear. You have the higher vision. We have the card of the world. This is a turning point, a completion and a new beginning. I sort of want to feel, or say pile two, I feel your future self is sort of saying to you, your life will never be the same again. But I mean it in like the best possible way. This is reminding me of something. Let's draw more cards first before I tune into that story, but the fact that it's even come to mind may be relevant. Okay, may we have additional information and guidance or clarification about what this is about for my pile twos. Ah, there we are. Right, let's see what we have here. Okay, you have the Queen of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, the Eight of Cups. How fascinating. Look at this. This is remarkable. Can you see here behind you being offered something? This cup coming in. So it's unexpected. Okay, now we know that this is a major blessing you don't see coming. I think something is given to you, gifted to you. It could literally be one of those awakenings. One of those awakenings. Yes, with the moon, angel of dreams. Something that takes you to a whole new realm of seeing, of doing, of being. And it means that you leave, I sort of want to say you leave the world as you know it behind. Yes, we have the Queen of Pentacles, and we have the Eight of Wands, and we have the Chariot. Okay, how many can I get in along here? Look. Okay. I'll just place this up in the middle here for the moment. Let us tune into your cards, my beautiful pile two. Your world will never be the same again. You'll see things through a completely different lens, a bit like the bat. Bats can't see, they see what isn't seen. So at night when we all go to sleep, bats come out and they can see what people don't normally see. This is like a daylight world. And then we see this nighttime world, the moon. A world of depth, a world of meaning, a world of significance, a world that can be illuminated. And then we have the Chariot and the Eight of Wands. These are both quite fast moving cards here. I feel you go from a place where you're really not sure. I almost want to say you're bored, or feeling like your world isn't fully alive, or just bored with the mundaneness of life, bit fed up, do a bit of meditation. That sounded awful, I don't mean it in that way. But sort of like you're doing all the right things, but something hasn't clicked into place. And this is the point when it does. What's really interesting is that I think it does connect to a calling or a career pathway. This isn't like a spiritual life where you live in lack. I think it's a spiritual life where abundance comes to you with the Queen of Pentacles. The story I was going to tell you was that in the countryside, in the area where I live, I went for a walk. It was very interesting, and I crossed over a bridge. It was a bridge that was crossing a stretch of canal, actually. But I crossed over the bridge, and halfway across the bridge, I actually passed a Buddhist monk. This was a real, live, for real Buddhist monk. She was beautiful. Her energy was extraordinary. And we just paused and said, just hello, greetings really of, loveliness. And then we continued. She had come from one side of the canal and the water, and I had come from the other, and we crossed in the middle. But as I walked in the trail of her energy, I experienced the highest vibration of love. It was like she was leaving a trail of love behind her. It was one of the most remarkable experiences I have had of another human being, a complete stranger. But the energy she left in her wake, as it were, was incredible. It was like the purest, highest vibration of love. And I feel like you are stepping into something of that zone within the context of your life. In a way, your life will never be the same again, because your capacity to see, to hear, to know, to experience, to interpret, to dream, to intuit is going to be so heightened. Your connection with universal energy here. I mean, this is a gateway to a very, very different experience of yourself and of life and the universe. But with the Queen of Pentacles, I think it may also connect to some element of your calling or your career pathway. We are no longer living in a generational time or a historical time when to be a spiritual person or a spiritual leader, a visionary, gaining of respect, things brought to life. Yeah, we are no longer living in times or like historical times when if you were a deeply spiritual person, you had to go and live in isolation in a monastery or something. Now you can be a spiritual leader and live a real everyday life and make a difference in everyday terms every single day, just by being you, just by being you. And I feel like you own this with great benevolence, actually. Let's draw more cards. I'd like some more clarification around our Queen of Pentacles, really. I'd like to sort of see where this is going. This is the blessing, though. Your future self is letting you know. This is like a spiritual awakening. In fact, let's first of all ask, maybe, when we have the moon, I'm seeing you leaving something behind. I'm seeing the Four of Cups. You're not looking particularly happy. Let's ask if we can have any information about the circumstances around this. Now, obviously, this is a blessing you don't see coming, so, but we will ask and see if we're shown anything. We may not be, because sometimes when you ask for something that you don't see coming, we're shown it, but we're not given the details, because otherwise you'd be constantly looking for it. So, can we be given any more information about the circumstances in which this arrives? We have the Ten of Pentacles. I think maybe you find your tribe. This is interesting because I have been contemplating, it's on my list of readings to do around finding your tribe, how to find your tribe. I've had quite a lot of communications from people sort of who are feeling quite isolated where they are. They're on that spiritual pathway, and it is the pathway of the warrior. And they're feeling like a square peg in a round hole. They're not finding people that they resonate with around them. Excuse me. Let's check in on more information, please. But I feel that you find your tribe. That's what I think. You find your resting place, your home. Yes. We have the Hermit. This is very, very clear for me here. I think you find your tribe. We have a dog here. It's like loyalty. You find the right people to be with, the right people to hang out with. And curiously enough, I think this is a tribe of people that really respect you for who you are as an individual. They respect you for your wisdom. They respect you for your learning. They respect you for your vision. I really do feel that, in a way, it's like, this feels like a perfect match, because on the one hand, I think you will become something of a leader to them, because you hold the light, you hold the wisdom. Simultaneously, they also really revere and look after you. It's a real beautiful mutual exchange going on here. Yeah, that this is so clear. It is. I think you find your tribe. You find the group of people, your community, the people you belong with. And although you remain very much the individual, the autonomous individual you are, gosh, your connection to the divine, to spirit, to source, your spiritual family, this is life-changing. It really, really is. But very, very interesting, because it sets you forth on some kind of new career pathway as well. We're talking in the next 3 months as well. This is what we have been asking for. May we have information about the specifics of this, perhaps this potential career pathway here. May we ask your future self for further clarification around this. Yeah, I thought there were 3. So, King of Cups, 3 of Pentacles, and 5 of Wands. Okay. What I'm seeing first with the 5 of Wands and the 3 of Pentacles together is there's an opportunity to collaborate here. You're going to be working with a group of people, this spiritual community. You're going to be working with them. You're going to be designing, you're going to be planning, you're going to be collaborating, you're going to be building together, you're going to be working things out. I think you'll take quite a significant role in this community. I think people will look to you with the King of Cups energy and the Hermit again for your wisdom, for your awareness, your knowledge, your love, the way you see your sight. But it's interesting, I don't feel this is simply finding your tribe and locating your community, your human team. I feel like it's the rather than the family we're born to, it's the family we seek and find. But I think you're going to play a very integral role in developing something within this community, and will take quite a significant role of leadership. That came out here as well. You know, gaining respect, act like a leader, demonstrate, realize everything in this card. Look at this, the creation of, really showing this. Yes, you'll be part of the creation of something. You're going to be an integral part, play a role in the creation of something that is connected to this group of people. And yes, you will leave much behind. Doesn't mean you won't still have your everyday world, but your world will be transformational. Some of you genuinely may actually literally physically move. You may up sticks and move. Leave a physicality. We see the Chariot moving away, riding away from a city. It's a city behind the moon here. Or a castle, in fact. It's a castle, I think. Yes, and look, she has a dog again. You're going to find your tribe. I think this is lovely. Pile 2. I think you'll find your tribe. You're going to find where you belong. You'll be able to put down roots and anchor point. I do think some of you definitely will. There will be a genuine physical move, physicality. It may just be a moving house, but there's quite a sense of moving to a different town here. I feel like this is the Wild West here, and you know, you're setting forth into new territory here. I think the new territory is what you're building within this community, what you're part of creating, but playing quite a lead role in it. And I think it will light the way for people. It will assist people, no end. You will be paid, there's no question of it. There's definitely a career opportunity here. But ultimately, it's all about your spiritual calling. I almost feel that the financial benefit is almost secondary to you. But yeah, I'm seeing a physical move for many of you, literally a house move. Being with your tribe, choosing to be with your tribe, and being a very integral part of what you are then building. Taking a leadership role in this. Well, obviously we're asking about a blessing, so it was going to be a super fab reading because blessings are blessings, but this does feel like a blessing of monumental spiritual proportions, hence receiving the Om sign. Yeah, I'm very interested in, this is the finger I placed this ring on. It's like pointing the way. I think when we used to sing songs to our children, this was Peter Pointer, I think. Anyway, yeah, I feel that the way will be pointed, given to you. Something given to you here. But it's fascinating. It comes in when you are least expecting it. Maybe when you're bored or you felt stuck. It comes at a time. I mean, I'm sure your spiritual pathway, and I didn't mean to be flippant earlier when I sort of said, oh, when you meditate a bit, I didn't mean that in a flippant way. Any of us, we all meditate and we all slip in and out of our meditation. Well, to be fair, you may not. You may be very dedicated. I own my place in that. I slip in and out of my meditation practice. I can go through periods where I'm incredibly dedicated, and then sometimes when life is really busy, I may slide a little bit. I may have times when I don't, and I wish I did. And then I have to bring myself back in because it's so beneficial. But yes, there is literally an awakening. There is an awakening. And your spirituality becomes the biggest part of your pathway, your calling. It doesn't exclude you from an everyday world or an everyday life, but I do see you as taking a leadership role. My beautiful pile 2, my apologies for my coughing. I do have laryngitis, actually. I think I have just said that, but I am therefore keeping some of my readings to a minimum. But beautiful souls, I felt very much that I wish to do this before the weekend, and I will also be doing my Sunday reading too. So beautiful souls, this is fab. I feel like you're stepping into the role of that incredible Buddhist monk that I passed. Her energy was just, gosh, I could have walked in her wake forever. It was so amazing, so amazing. So beautiful souls, it's a true honour to read for you. It really is. I mean, this is the stuff of what the world needs at the moment. Beautiful souls, people who truly walk in light and step up and assume that role of leadership to guide and support others. And it is two-way, because you're going to be so loved and so supported within this community, within this tribe. So it's just fabulous. Pile 2, I am sending you the biggest love in the world and also a huge amount of respect. Thank you so much for honouring my lovely YouTube channel with your presence. It's a true gift and a privilege to read for you. Tons and tons of love. I will put the links to all the different things that I do. I have books that I write, cards that I create, a monthly prize draw, all zodiac sign readings on another site, all kinds of stuff. I'll just put all the links in the description box and also in the pinned comment for phone users, and the cards as well that I've used along with the timestamps. So just scroll down if you want to check any of those things out. Tons and tons of love to you, Pile 2. It is an honour to read for you. Pile 2, this is an additional message. When I was just clearing away your cards, I realised that I hadn't drawn from this pack, and I have all my cards sitting next to me and draw from all of them for every reading. And this is the Inner Child Fairytale Tarot pack. I'm not going to draw a card for you because I don't need to. This was the message that came through loud and clear. Whatever you are about to embark on, this next phase of your journey, this leadership, the seer, the spiritual pathway that you're walking, you have resolved something of those inner child issues that we all have. Let's say we're human beings, and you've repaired something significant and sort of karmically on some level to be fully available to move forwards. You're no longer living in a fairy tale world. You know, spirituality for you is not a dream in the distant future. It's who you are. It's the very essence of who you are, integrated into every aspect of your life. So I feel that the message that came through loud and clear is that, and I just wanted to share that with you as an add-on. You know, this is not a fairy tale perspective of what spirituality means. You're the real deal, beautiful souls, and my goodness me, you will have worked to get here. So my humble gratitude for your presence here, and I wanted to just share this with you. I will now put these cards away and move to reading 3. It's an honour. Pile 2, it really is. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. You have the card of the hyena, you have the rune of movement, and you have this balloon. The moment I tuned into your reading, there was a song that came to my mind. It goes, you know, one day I'll fly away. I think it's a Randy Crawford song. One day I'll fly away, leave your love to yesterday. Forgive me, I actually have laryngitis, so singing is probably not the best thing for me today. But that song was really coming through loud and clear, like leaving something behind. We have the rune of movement, the gathering of momentum. The hyena energy is actually about taking an ownership of something you really, really want. I feel like maybe something that you always thought was, I don't know, like a pie in the sky, may actually become possible for you in some way, shape or form. Even the hyena looks like it's looking backwards. Now we're asking your future self, what major blessing that you don't see coming is happening in the next 3 months. Do please forgive me, because I do actually have a bit of laryngitis. I've been told I shouldn't speak, so I'm just doing a few readings and not quite as many as I might normally be doing. So, beautiful souls, let's just draw some more cards for you. So I do apologise, I'll try not to cough too much. Okay, with the trust of a child, Fun, romance and making art. This is the houses. So this is the 5th house. So this is romance. It's joy. It's that song I was singing, you know, one day I'll fly away and leave your love to yesterday. And it ends, I think, or that sentence ends something like, with when will love be true for me? Okay, the power of love, creativity, investing in something. And look at the moon here as well. We have a quarter moon position. A quarter moon position is like a point of evaluation. It's a turning point. It's the halfway point. What else are we shown for you with the trust of a child? Do it dramatically. I love this. Let's draw more cards. What are we shown? What is your future self saying in the near future? Okay. Let's draw more angel cards for you in the near future. Angel of imagination. Okay. Right. Let me see. Let's line these up. Where are we? I think everything is there in camera. Yep. Let's draw you a rune, or maybe more than one rune. Okay, Othilla. Ah, this is very clear. Yes. That song, one day I'll fly away, leave your love to yesterday. And then it's all about, you know, when will love be true for me? Now, whether this is love, relationship or something else, you are, and it may well be for some of you. Oh, look at the balloons. Forgive me, beautiful souls. Here I am. I need to just press the pause button, slow down and just get present. I was very much tangled in that song. Well, not tangled, hearing it, connecting with it, because you're leaving something behind. You know, one day I'll fly away. Something that you didn't think you could leave behind. It's that dream. One day I'll fly away. One day I'll get over this. One day I'll move beyond it. All of these balloons here. And we have a couple. So for some of you, maybe this is genuinely connected to relationship. You've been hurt, you've been burned. And now there is something happening. It's possible. I'm noticing them sitting on these books. And you see they're sitting on a pile of books, and there is a book open. It's like rewriting the story of the future. Othilla is a rune of inheritance, of gain, because you have let something go. The hyena can indicate some trickster energy. Also, it can mean that we slightly play tricks on ourselves when we sort of tell ourselves we're over something, but actually we're not. We're still carrying some deep-seated resentments or hurt around something. Right, I'm going to move this along because I think we can get all these cards into our top row. Yes, there we go. Excellent. Good, excuse me. I'm going to draw from the Inner Child Fairytale pack next. Asking your future self, what is this blessing that you don't see coming? Okay, 4 of Hearts. How interesting. Yes. This point, something is broken, or something either has been broken, or for some of you it's broken and you've really struggled to leave it behind. For some of you it's in the process of breaking. It's heartbreaking. That's what I'm really seeing. It's heartbreaking. It's been heartbreaking. Whatever that was, that happened. I am so sorry. I would not wish anything of heartbreakingness to come to any of you. I would not wish that. I will draw some clarifying cards around the hyena. I mean, for some of you, it could just be that you lost a love, but I actually think there's a bit more to this, if I'm honest. Because we've got the dice here, hyena, the trickster energy. I actually feel that you probably got a bit brokenhearted by someone, for many of you. I know it's a generic reading, but someone took you for a ride, broke your heart, literally. It was heartbreaking. And whether this is in love or it was in some other aspect of creativity, it could have been somebody who took your idea and went off and ran with it. Somebody who, well, yeah, it was heartbreaking. Whatever they've done, it was heartbreaking. The blessing, the big, big, big blessing that your future self is saying to you is that I feel with the card of imagination, something is coming in, some possibility, something that can help you to fly away from this, literally, to move away from it, Othilla. I'm going to place this here. It feels really important to have our balloon in a more prominent position. In fact, I'm going to place it in the near future card. That's where I want it, bang in the middle of the near future card. So we are being shown, this is a reading where we're looking for a major blessing that you don't see coming in the next 3 months. How interesting. I must just show you something here. Look, I always watch all these things. Can you see here on this card as well? Here we've got this cross of, you know, this is the oars, the mast of the boat. It's not the oars, it's the mast, isn't it? It's what allows you to set sail. So you haven't been able to set sail because of this. And what I'm noticing in the near future now, I keep all of my cards with sage. Lots and lots and lots of desert sage, particularly because it's so cleansing. And so whenever I use a pack after I have used them, they go back into a drawer, or the drawers that I use for my cards, amongst desert sage. And what we have here is this little piece of desert sage, but it's in a cross. Can you see that? Now that symbol is also, that particular cross in that way is the symbol for partnership in the runes. Now runes were developed, or the history of runes, we have a rune here, movement. This is the bettering of any situation. This is the gathering of momentum, something moving forwards. The history of runes is that in the Nordic runes, I think it was the god Odin who was hanging upside down in a tree, and he looked beneath him and he saw twigs and bones in particular shapes and patterns, and he realized that they were telling him, they were communicating, they were telling him a story. So I feel, excuse me, that you're going to be given some significant signs here. You may already find that there are signs coming into your world. Be very conscious of openings and possibilities, because you're being given a major blessing that will help you to fly away from this situation. And this is the rune of partnership. It's the rune of relationship. So for many of you, it is a new relationship, whether that is to do with love or indeed creativity, or just a connection that will assist you. In the Four of Hearts, we have these beautiful three mermaids here in the background. I feel like they're holding that point of transformation. 3 is, especially in the tarot, the 3s are all turning points. Let's put this back and draw more cards for you. Now, first of all, I think what I want to do is draw some cards. I want some clarification around this hyena energy with the dice game playing. Even with the trust of a child, I think you may have walked into something with the trust of a child, and then, you know, do it dramatically. You may actually then have been slightly misled, or very misled, in fact, by somebody who was very much a child in a grown-up body, someone who played games, and I think you entered it with the trust of a child. Let's ask about this hyena card. What's this? What do we need to know about this situation? Okay. Okay. We have the Five of Swords. We have the Five of Pentacles. Oh my goodness me. Look at this. Wowza. Five of Swords, Five of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles. Look how this person is just like so miserly and clinging to money. And yeah, some of you may have, I said, ripped off in business or something like that. Heartbreaking. Oh, they really took advantage of your kindness, your generosity. I'm going to say your purity. They may even have portrayed themselves as being a victim. In fact, you know, if I'm honest, they might actually you see these are all behind your back here. I think they may have portrayed themselves as, you know, they could have portrayed themselves as a victim to you. Made claims that were totally untrue. Angel of Imagination. They've tried to tell a story with these books about you that isn't real. I'm so sorry, because this feels really shit, actually. And I just am so, you know, I'm sorry. This person was pretty, oh my goodness me. I mean, just look at the energy of them here. You know, I just want to clear them out of your reading. I think I'm going to in a minute. I think I'm going to do a bit of energy clearing. We'll remove them from your reading. But this is what needs to happen. Your angels, your guides are looking out for you. In the very near future, your faith is going to be restored. Your future self says, your message here, the major blessing that is coming into your life that you don't see coming is actually, I feel like someone, now whether this is a work connection, a creative connection, a partnership, or indeed a love relationship, whatever happened to you, someone is coming in that will repair this. And it's going to be such a departure from the way that this was. This is just so, somebody with their own agenda from day one. Absolutely day one. Their own agenda, portraying themselves as being ever so hard done by. Absolute. Well, I can't use the word I'd like to use because it wouldn't be allowed on YouTube. But I will, you know, it's there. And I'm so sorry. But you know what? Love and light. Look at you sitting under the Angel of Imagination here. This is in the past and it really is behind you now. It's been pretty difficult to put it behind because it's left you feeling not trustworthy. In fact, I think, you know, the biggest thing that happens when we encounter people like this, I mean, they have a very low vibrational energy, the lowest vibrational energy. This is a damaged soul, really. They were always in it for what they could get, always. They always had their own agenda from day one, absolute day one. And I think you took everything on face value. You were generous, you were kind. That is now over. This is the big, big blessing. It's been really hard for you to process this. Yeah, really hard. So let's do a bit of movement within your reading, my beautiful souls. Your future self is saying to you, this is now behind you. And although it's left you feeling mistrustful, the biggest blessing is that I think a relationship, I mean, this is like a natural occurrence, this like a rune should be, a sign, a symbol, a signal. Look out for signs and symbols and signals. As you move forwards, you'll be shown particular things. You might find balloons are particularly relevant to you. Look up. Yes, look up. There's a message. Look up. You may see a star. You may see a feather. Look up. You'll be shown signs. And this is in the near future. The reading was in the next 3 months anyway. I'm going to move these cards because I feel they are a thing of the past. So I'm going to ask you just to sit because I want to clear your space. It feels really important to do so. Now, we can't deny and should not deny that this has happened. Because it has, and this is about you developing discernment and recognising. I think I had started saying one of the biggest issues with this sort of stuff is that we lose trust in ourselves. We feel that if we have had the wool pulled over our eyes, it means that when you start to meet people and start to look at new contracts or new relationships, you mistrust your own judgment. I don't know if I said that already or if I'm now repeating myself. Sometimes in a reading I go off on a little bit of a tangent and then I haven't said the thing that I was going to say, and so I may be repeating it, but this is important because it's about you allowing yourself to trust again, letting this in. You know, one day I'll fly away and leave this love to yesterday. You know, this is, you know, when will love be true for me? Whatever this was about, I would say in the near future. Such an affirmation. Now, sit with the energy of this pile 3, my beautiful souls, and I'm so sorry. I'm bringing in something really, really pure here. Oh, so pure. Got a big message of affirmation just coming through for me. This is something quite personal that I'm going to bring into this reading, but with real reason, and I will explain it. Looking at the snow here, it purifies, it cleanses. Now, look at these cards, because you are pure, okay? I'm going to put these cards here. What I'm actually going to do is, because we don't forget them, I'm going to turn them over. Because it's time to turn over a new leaf and let this go. I'm going to bring in, it's a stone, and it's right in front of me, so I'm just going to reach across to get it, and I will tell you about it. So this is a piece of chalk. Remarkable, because chalk is very opaque, I think is the word. It's quite, yeah, it's not translucent, it's opaque, and yet this piece of chalk, I don't know if this is showing on the camera, but you know, it picks up the light. It's remarkable. It almost is like a crystal. This piece of chalk came from an incredibly special place. It's a site where there was once a white horse in Wiltshire here, but there is no longer. Some of them have long since disappeared, but the energy of them is still there. And this is also a place where it is known that it's a place of angels. It's a place where angels reside. Many people have connected in with that energy and visions and seen things. So I'm not going to say where it is because I think it's appropriate to offer that respect. People find places of their own accord. I don't wish to be here on YouTube advertising things like that, but I am bringing this extraordinary piece of purity into your reading. I'm just going to place it on there, and I hope that creates, you know, that sent a shiver all the way through my body. It's time for this to end. Look at the imagery here as well, this half a moon in darkness in the shadows, and now this quarter moon is a turning point. It's a 90-degree point where the sun and the moon are sitting at 90-degree angles to the earth. It's a turning point. Yes, we're moving from the dark to the light. This is behind you. In fact, I'm going to do even more than this, beautiful souls. There. That feels quite good. In fact, even more. Yeah. I feel like I just want to rearrange your cards completely. Okay. And here we have the new future emerging. Let's move your cards along. I'm just going to rearrange your cards. This is what I feel is happening. You get to rearrange your life. You get to rewrite the story. You get to write the new story. You write the next chapter with the trust of a child, with the purity of a child. You're given an opportunity, and I'm seeing this really clearly. You're given an opportunity to leave this behind now. Othilla, the rune of separation. Yeah, it's a turning point. Someone comes along, just as you have been so beautifully giving. You have kept your purity, your light. You are the light. You have kept your purity throughout this. You can now leave this behind with love and blessings. In the very near future, I think someone is coming in to bring something back into balance, to assist you in leaving this behind. It's done, it's dusted, it's past. Yeah, whether this is a partnership in business or a partnership in love, here we are, the new future, my beautiful pile 3. Really, 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 it feels like such a big message to come to you, because this was huge. There's such a betrayal around it. But honestly, and bless you, you have retained your light. And this was never going to be okay. This person is damaged and was never going to grow, even though they may have suggested that they were a victim and needed your help. Let's rewrite the future. Let's ask for your future self to bring in affirmation and cards that tell us all about where you are going. What is this major blessing? Can we have more information? I feel like the whole energy is lifted here. I even get a bit more of my voice back now. How delightful to sit in your energy of transformation. Yeah, maybe you have not been able to have a voice. Oh, yeah, there's more to come. There's more to come. Right, I'll leave it at that for one moment. If we can always draw more pile 3 if we need to. Oh, look at this. Look at this. You could not ask for more. The 2 of Cups. How heavenly is this with these lovebirds? Whatever this connection is. Oh my goodness me, it restores your faith in the near future. 3 of Wands. Oh, such a point of, look at the future ahead of you. You may actually move. I'm seeing a vehicle coming in here. I think it's a horse-drawn carriage. Gosh, this is really making me feel connected to fairy tale romances, you know, like Cinderella's fairy tale carriage arriving. Look at these trunks. And look at these signposts. Different directions, choices. The Ace of Wands. Wow, the energy of absolute potential for new beginnings. Energy, passion, desire. You have the Queen of Pentacles. Doesn't she look happy? There's a real blossoming here. Something or someone is coming into your life that is going to make your world blossom, and they're going to make you blossom. It's guided. The High Priestess. This is a guided connection. We have the Ace of Swords. Yes, to have the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords, I mean, talk about, let me shunt that one. I'm just going to have to shunt, you know, I'm just going to shunt it a bit further along. I feel that's what I've got to do. Move these along. Okay. Ace of Swords and Ace of Wands. I mean, this is clearly going to happen. Page of Swords. And the Eight of Cups. Someone is really, really going to help you move away from this. They really are. Now, yeah, you're setting sail for a new life. The Page of Swords. I will draw a few more cards and I will voice why in just a moment. Let me just put these, where can we place all our lovely cards? Let's put them here. I'm not sure where to place these. Do you know what I'm going to do, my beautiful souls, to make enough room here? I'm going to firmly place that out of your reading, knowing that you have, this is safe, it's done, it's dusted. I'm going to move it out. And I'm even going to remove this card here as well. Yes, your angels and guides are protecting you. They have been watching over you throughout this time, but it is time for the new. Actually, I will leave that, but this will overlap. Let's move your cards right the way along. Let's write your new story, your new chapter. Yeah. Page energy. It's young. Under the angel of imagination, I feel it's like you can dare to dream again. You can dare to believe in the possibility of those dreams. One day I'll fly away. It's like something, I really do feel this is a dream come true. Pile 3. It's an absolute dream come true. Not only metaphorically do you move away from all that happened, from the person or people, person, probably most of you, person. You move to something. It's not, yeah, you literally physically, I feel like there's potentially a physical move. Othilla often speaks of real property. Being given the means to move something forwards, to rewrite your chapter, rewrite your story, dream again, believe again. There's adjustment, and you'll be guided while you come through this. This is the bettering of any situation. This is the gathering of momentum. What I'm seeing here is something's going to grow quickly. Not only does someone come in that, what did I say about signs, signals, synchronicities, signposts? Sorry, I'm really connecting in with all these different bits that are like leaping out of your reading. Pile 3. Signs, signals, synchronicities, openings for you. Look at this natural rune showing up here of partnership. This is going to be sorted and done once and for all. I will ask a little bit more information really around clarification. I think I'd like about the signs, the signals, the synchronicities, maybe what you should be looking out for. Any assistance around the Page of Swords? Is this simply your the new vitality, you learning to trust again, learning to believe in your dreams again? Or is it more? Let's ask, first of all, let's ask about the signs and the synchronicities. May I ask your future self for some information around the signs and the synchronicities? How interesting. 7 of Swords. Okay. And the Empress. I think that actually someone's going to depart your life. They're going to exit it. How interesting. We have the Empress and the Emperor. Right. Okay. Now, I'm not suggesting that, you know, when we talk about if somebody has had a breakup and we talk about, you know, a new relationship as being sort of like the breakup relationship. Now, I'm not saying that is you, because I don't think it is. This is a real connection. So whether this is a business partner coming in, you know, or there's that strong connection, or indeed it's romantic and about love. It's right here at the beginning here. I think it causes this to basically disappear. And I think this could come in more than one way. So if there is still someone around you who is sort of lingering, clinging a bit, meeting someone new will close that door It's like they're not going to bother you anymore. Maybe they're one of those people that has treated you badly, in it for themselves, but kind of almost sort of fundamentally still wanted to sort of perhaps come along and take from you a little bit. And this is completely changing. And I think they depart because you are now solid. You're in a strong connection now. I think a new relationship, a new person, if it's business and somebody was still sort of trying to get in through the back door to align with you, to have a business connection with you, still seeing you as having potential that they could take from, they're going to depart because you're in a space of a new connection. So the new connection almost like closes that door. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. This is the circumstances. So it's not like you walk away from something. I think you are doing that anyway. You've been grieving for possibly quite a long time over this, going over and over it unnecessarily as well, I would add, because I'm really saying this was never anything you did. This was not your fault. You may have been left feeling like it was perhaps your fault, but truly it was not. This person had their own agenda from day one. Now I'm seeing you exit, or them exit your world. And you're sitting pretty. It's the new relationship that sets off this closure. Yeah, I'm not seeing you leave and then the new relationship or the new connection comes in. It is the new opportunity that brings this about. Now, you may be a bit anxious, which is understandable. But honestly, you're going to be really reassured here. This is strong, this is real, this is solid. I'm just going to move those over. May we draw more cards, please? Can we have a message from your future self as to how this proceeds, or a sneaky peek into the future, please? Four of Wands, look at this. Romance, love, connection. Sort of feel like a courtship going on here. And the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, and look at this. Look at the sun and the moon coming together here. Yeah, this is what is happening in the near future. Someone is coming in, a connection, a relationship. Oops, let me just bring out that relationship. Our natural rune, because it's just going to naturally happen. Someone is going to come along and the wheel will turn. You will easily let go and move forwards. It will. Do you know what's going to happen? It's going to cease to be of any importance to you whatsoever. It's like really, thing of the past, you know? Really, you're still there somewhere, whatever. This is so strong, this connection. So strong. But it's this that gives you the gift that moves you from all of this. I just want to put this over here as well. I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to place it. I'm going to turn it upside down, place that beautiful stone on it and move it to the other pile. I just feel like that's where it belongs. It does not belong, that person does not belong in your life. Kaput, done, dusted, been there, bought the t-shirt, paid for it significantly, moving on. That's what I'm feeling like. That is what I'm feeling like. My beautiful pile 3. It's a 3-month reading. It's in the near future. Someone coming in that changes everything for you. I'm thrilled for you beyond belief. Gathering momentum. This is going to happen. It's going to grow fast. The Empress, the Emperor. I mean, what a powerful connection. This is absolutely beautiful. It really, really is. It's so beautiful and so right for you. it is a major, major blessing. That's absolutely for sure. It could not be more gorgeous for you, beautiful pile 3. Super souls, sorry for my slight lack of voice, I have little coughs here and there, but I am thrilled, really, I literally feel over the moon for you. I really, really, really do. And I'm sorry all that happened, but my goodness me, this is the real deal, and it really is very life-changing. You know, that restoration of trust. I mean, how heavenly is that? And that future that you sort of thought was way off, a pie in the sky. Pile 3, I am just sending you all the love in the world. Beautiful souls, what I'm going to do is, rather than tell you all about the different things I do, I'm just going to put links to anything and everything that I do. I write books, I have a pack of oracle cards, I have a free online library, I do a monthly prize draw here on YouTube, I do a ton of stuff. I will just put all the relevant links to anything and everything in the description box and the pinned comment for you, so do scroll down if any of those things might be of interest to you. Also, my all zodiac sign readings are on another site. Super souls, just hold this, because your future self is so clear about what is going to be happening very soon. Tons of love, beautiful souls, and I look forward to seeing you for another reading really soon.